Oasis have one of those discographies where even the deep cuts feel iconic. Their B-sides are legendary, and their album tracks have changed people's lives, and sometimes honestly the songs they didn't release are better than the songs most bands would kill to have as hits. So today I want to talk about 5 Oasis songs that absolutely deserve to be singles, and I'm still shocked they weren't.
Best band about today, on the planet. It's a fact.
Number 1, Rock and Roll Star. We're starting with the most outrageous example. Rock and Roll Star, technically it was released as a single in the US. I am talking about the UK, the birthplace of Oasis, the ground zero of Britpop, the place where this band started. And somehow the defining Oasis song was never released as a UK single. That's madness. Because this track didn't just open Definitely Maybe, it woke British rock up from its slumber. It kicked the door in with that opening riff, and Liam's first line, the first time you hear him, the snarl, the swagger, the energy, he just reminded everyone, rock isn't dead, it was just asleep. Here is the wake up call. Just so much electricity and buzz to this song, and it's a song that made regular people, working class kids, dreamers, anyone feeling stuck, suddenly feel like more than they were, even if just for one night. How this wasn't a UK single? Wild. Number 2, Morning Glory. This one makes no sense either. And yes, I know it was a single elsewhere, but again in the UK, the epicenter of the whole movement, it wasn't. Instead we got Roll With It. A good song, sure, but come on. Morning Glory is a wall of sound, a bolt of lightning. One of the most perfectly chaotic Oasis songs ever recorded. Liam just sounds incredible in it. He sounds like the biggest rock star on earth. Raspy, urgent, alive. These weren't just lyrics, they became phrases people started using even without thinking. They became language. This song has that classic Oasis magic where they take something ordinary, a phrase, a moment, a mood, and turn it into an anthem. The special thing about this song is it wasn't just a soft radio anthem, it was a dirty, noisy, glorious guitar storm that when you were singing along, somehow, some way, your mum and dad, your friends, people who didn't even like rock would somehow sing along to it also without missing a beat. I think releasing this as a single would have also silenced the people who said that What's the Story Morning Glory was much more pop than Definitely Maybe. I mean it was, but if you stick Morning Glory, this song on the radio in 1995, there's no debate. Oasis was still capable of being just as edgy and raw as they were on that first album. Number 3, Gas Panic. Gas Panic is one of the best Oasis songs ever written, and easily the song that could have completely and utterly changed the entire public perception of Standing on the Shoulder of Giants. I mean, not for me, because I love that album, but for the mainstream, this was the track that could have represented that era. It's a dark, psychedelic, deeply introspective song, a side of Oasis people weren't ready for, but one I think they were desperately needing to hear. That my family don't seem so familiar, and my enemies all know my name. Instead we got Who Feels Love, a good song, but Gas Panic was braver, it was heavier, it said more.
I was thinking, well, I'm going to use drum loops on that, and you know the bass line's going to be really complicated here, and it's not going to be all about the song, so to speak. It's going to be more about the musicianship. And I was thinking, well, you know, is it all going to work with new people and in a new environment? And the amazing thing for me is that it all worked, and it didn't feel weird. It just felt really natural. So, and it still sounds like an Oasis record, but it sounds like a different kind of Oasis record, which is what we should have done last time.
The song is just a creepy, lurking anxiety dream, set to echoing vocals and ambient psychedelic textures. Liam delivers one of his most haunting performances here. There's something fractured in his voice that fits the song perfectly, and I love how it's produced. And those lyrics, my family don't seem so familiar and my enemies all know my name, that is one of Noel's most chilling lines ever. Written at a time when he was dragging himself out of addiction, you just feel it with those lines, they hit so hard. Other bands get praised for going dark or experimental. Oasis did it and people didn't quite know what to do with it. and that's a shame, because Gas Panic is bold, ambitious, and should have been the anthem that defines that chapter of the story. Number 4, The Turning. The Turning is still one of the most underrated songs from the final album, Dig Out Your Soul. I've always had a love-hate relationship with that record. Some tracks are absolute bangers, proper Oasis swagger and experimentation, and some tracks just don't really go anywhere. But one thing I'll always admire is it brought back some of that darker psychedelic energy from Standing on the Shoulder of Giants. And The Turning is one of those tracks that hit me straight away. It's wild that it wasn't a single because it has that kind of Morning Glory sort of punch. Anthemic, huge, but also strange. Those lyrics, you carry the lantern, I'll carry you home. You search for the disappeared, I'll bury the cold. Cold, yep, not gold, which I honestly thought it was for a long time. The lyrics in this really create this image of someone moving through a rainy night, clutching a lantern, searching for something in the dark. The opening piano is unsettling, eerie, atmospheric, strange, just again like the start of a night journey through fog and rain. You carry the lantern, I'll carry you home. You search for the disappeared, I'll bury the gold. And then Liam just comes in with that chorus and just detonates the song. The contrast is incredible. He shifts from these moody, introspective verses to full-on rock star in the chorus. So come on, shake it right down, baby, before you change your mind. And come on. This could have been a massive late-era Oasis single. That chorus is undeniable, and it showed they weren't coasting. They were still experimenting, still pushing themselves, and still making great songs. A Bell Will Ring. And to finish, a song that deserves so much more love than it ever got. A Bell Will Ring from Don't Believe the Truth, written by Gem Archer, and honestly Gem understood Oasis better than anyone who joined ever did. He didn't try to be Noel, he didn't try to reinvent anything, he just wrote songs that felt like Oasis. And this song is one of the best late-era Oasis tracks. It opens with that classic rock and roll guitar lick, the kind of riff the Rolling Stones will be proud of, and then it drops into this uplifting, addictive melody that feels like someone slowly pulling themselves out of a dark time in their lives. A little space, a little time, see what it can do. A little space, a little time, see what it can do. Gem was so good at those lines. Simple, warm, human. Lines about giving yourself compassion, the chance to breathe, to reflect, to rebuild. And Liam sings it with that motivational spark only he can deliver. You can just hear the hope in it, the optimism, the belief that things can get better. Honestly, I would have released this over Let There Be Love. Let There Be Love was the safe choice, the classic Beatles-esque Oasis ballad. But A Bell Will Ring deserved the spotlight. It's catchy, it's uplifting, and it might be one of the purest feel-good rock songs they ever made. That chorus is Oasis at their core. Hopeful, human, encouraging. A reminder that the bad days aren't permanent. This should have been a single, no question. So when you look back at Oasis, you realise they weren't just a singles band, and they got known as that. They were a band whose album tracks could have been hits in their own right. Songs with swagger, heart, melancholy, and that rare ability to make everyday people feel larger than life. If you enjoyed this video, please hit subscribe and let me know in the comments which Oasis songs you think should have been singles, and let me know what you think of my list. Until next time, keep listening, and remember, play it loud.